Hello, YouTube. Welcome again back to the channel. It's a wrap, and I'm coming in a little bit different. Shawty got the vacation braids, okay? The vacation braids, and a real good tan. A real good tan. But anyways, today we are getting into a book review. So yeah, let me not waste your time. Let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. So today I'm talking about Sun Keep Rising by Kristen Lee. And I'm very excited because this is the first review I'm doing of an arc. So that's exciting. Kristen Lee, she wrote required reading for the disenfranchised freshmen. And this is her other novel, Sun Keep Rising, which is about the character Bianca, who is a teenage mom, and she has her child Mia, and pretty much she would like do anything for Mia. And she lives in Memphis, and her neighborhood is gentrifying. So not only is it gentrifying, but also she lives with her sister, barely getting by, and her sister loses her job and she gets this eviction notice. Pretty much the book is dealing with young motherhood, gentrification. Actually, that's my summary. Let me read the actual summary for you guys. So Bianca has always known how to get by, and then her daughter is born. Sorry, I'm looking down at my iPad, y'all. Let me hold it here. She wouldn't trade Mia for anything, but there is never enough cash to go around. And when their gentrifying Memphis neighborhood brings an eviction notice, Bianca already fragile world spirals. Desperate to make things right, Bianca forges a risky plan to help pay the bills. But one wrong move could cost Bianca and her family everything. I'm just going to let you guys know this right now. I actually really enjoyed this book. I brought it with me so I got it in ebook form. And I brought it with me while I was on vacation. I actually read a lot on vacation. This is probably the most relaxing vacation I've ever been on. But I read it on my phone while I was actually on the beach. um and I sped through this book. Is this book really long? I cannot confirm or deny how long this book is. I don't have that information, but I did go through it pretty fast. It didn't read like it was very long. Unfortunately, I don't know how many pages the book is because I have it. Oh, 240. It's 240 pages. So it's not a long book. 240 pages is usually something that I can read like within a day. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the character of Bianca. Like, I really felt like she was this fleshed out character, and there's a lot of like internal battles that she was going through. And while I was reading it, I did wonder, because when I was thinking, there's a lot of thoughts I have about me reading as a young adult, and trying to remember how I read as a young adult, because I'm no longer a young adult. Did I say this about the past 3 young adult books that I've read? That I feel like when I'm reading young adult books, especially with characters of color, um, me remembering my experience as a young adult reading young adult books, especially with people of color, um, especially being young, your Black experience isn't wrapped up in, or it's not. I felt like I've been feeling like reading a lot of these young adult books that it's a lot of fretting about your Blackness in tangent with whiteness, and it's not just like, these young Black adults going through trials and tribulations without it being connected to like the tensions of their racial identity. So it was nice having Bianca go through these conflicts, and while gentrification was one of them, I felt like it was done well. And there wasn't really, like, she lives in Memphis, she's in this neighborhood where there isn't a lot of white people, and it's very much like, you know in this world where they're dealing with these issues, but it's not in tangent where it feels like it's not in tangent where with whiteness or white characters, if I'm making sense. When I was a young adult, like pregnancy, like teenage pregnancy stories weren't really my stilo. And actually teenage pregnancy stories aren't my stilo now either. But I really enjoyed this one. I feel like it really um brought Bianca to life and really gave her like depth and humanity, and um you really, while she made these decisions and you're like, I would not make those decisions, you understand like at her age and in the circumstances that she is in, why she would decide to make some of the decisions she made, or why or how she would end up, messing up. I felt like the ending was I was satisfied with the ending because the ending reminds you how important community is, and how community can really, because we're in, especially in the United States, we're in a very individualistic society where you feel like you have to get it on your own, and you're self-made, um and the book really, I think in a very nice, for me, I enjoyed the way that it was done, touches on the importance of community, and um how community really can help you get through, some of the toughest times, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, that's what I really enjoyed about, the book, and particularly the ending, which I'm, no spoilers here, was just a reminder of the importance of community, which I think for me was like the biggest takeaway for me for the book. Um, but yes, I really enjoyed the main character, and I felt like she was written with justice. Bianca, like, she has to like grow up so fast, and she keeps telling herself that like I haven't been a kid, and you really feel for her because you're just like, I want her to like enjoy. You don't get those years back. You don't want her to grow up too fast. You don't want her to be stressed. Being an adult is it's stressful. Bills are stressful. Adulting is stressful. And you just want her to enjoy being a kid. And her sister keeps telling her, I just want you to enjoy being a kid, being young, because I didn't have the luxury of enjoying that. And I'd rather, give that up so you can enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because, they have a mother who is very much not reliable. And like, I feel it on such a deep level because I'm no longer that age. But if someone of that age was reading this book, I wonder if it would like hit. And I'm actually, is this, hold on. I'm like, is this meant to be aimed towards young? Yeah, books. Yeah, okay. So this is supposed to be a young adult, but something about this for me, like it. I don't know. I don't know how much it would resonate with a young reader. That's how I feel. But it was still a really good read. It was. I like a a 4.5, just because I felt like there was some things that were just kind of thrown in, but like they weren't really fully developed. I felt like the book was short. It could have been. This is the first time I'm saying this. I feel like the book could have been longer, even though the takeaway at the end, like some of the things, some of the plots that were thrown in, it didn't really take away from what we were supposed to get at the end as a message. But like, she has her baby father, Scooter, um who is pretty much, for the most part, like he'll pop up, but he's for the most part absent from the child's life. Her baby father dies in the book, and he pretty much dies, and we don't really get to like why. We don't really know why he was stabbed. He was just stabbed, and that was it. I mean, Scooter was like in these streets, and we get a little bit into Scooter living this double life. Like, he comes from a middle class family, but he's still like boosting, which, you know, if y'all know what boosting is pretty much, you know, shoplifting, stealing, um, stealing from stores. So he boosts and like sells it back on the street. I was hoping at the end of the book that you would actually go to college. We don't actually know what happens, like if she goes to college, but I did enjoy that in the book. Like she makes these mistakes, and at the end they're all like, "Girl, like I love that you made these mistakes, but they weren't like end all be all because you know, just especially as people of color, you make some of the mistakes that you've made, and it'll like uproot and upend in your whole life, but." The book was like, okay, girl, you still have options. Like, you can be young and make these mistakes, and it won't be the end all be all of you, or it won't be like super detrimental to your life. I mean, to your life. And sometimes it feels like, especially as a young person of color, that if you make these mistakes, there's no turning back. Like, you know, it's the ultimate punishment. So I enjoyed that in the book there was like some forgiveness, and there, especially from the elders in her life, saying that, you know, that there's room for redemption, that there's room to make mistakes, and that she still has options, that she's not stuck in the situation that she's in, which was which brought some hope for me in the book, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed that hopeful feeling. That yeah, it wasn't just like trauma. Cause yeah, it wasn't just trauma and then it's like throwing trauma at our lap and throwing like hardship and trauma at us, without being like, without making it feel like, oh, okay, well, it's hopeless and there's no hope. And yeah, there was some hope in the book that, you know, that there was a brighter side at the end for Bianca, that she had choices, that, you know, um that this was just like a difficult patch. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. It did make me want to go back, and I'll probably read Kristen Arley's other book. So yeah, maybe you'll get a review on with that on the channel. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. Um, I don't know if it's my top favorite read of this year, but I would definitely give it a 4.5. Um, it yeah, I just felt like by the end it was kind of rushed. I felt like by the end it was rushed, and there was just some things I would love to have been fleshed out more. Some storylines that were kind of thrown in that didn't really have complete resolve, that I would have enjoyed maybe some more detail about. So yes, this is my review for Sun Keep Rising. Let me know if you've read it, if you've enjoyed this. And oh, let me thank NetGalley for helping me to get this arc. I'm very happy about that. And let me know some other books. Maybe I'll do a video on like anticipated reads or books that I really want to read, um, from people of color. So let me know if you're interested in that. I know it's like February. Oh, maybe it'll be good because February is Black History Month. So yeah, maybe I'll get that list together and get that video up. Sorry guys. Anyway, so yes, I'll see you guys in another video. Deuces.